Jules, I'm happy to see you again, Hana.
Yeah, a dead body.
There's no need for you to take the fall. Not when there are plenty of others I can pinpoint as the culprit.
Someone else who caught her eye, her interests. Just our very visitor this morning, in fact. What are you doing? He's gonna pin the murder on Zach? What?
Your mother? No. I speak of the woman you wed. Her death was a blessing.
Is something the matter? You look a fright.
Is something the matter? Yeah, your face. Hey internet, it's Jessica and welcome back to The Letter. So we're gonna continue on with Luke and see what he's up to now. Breathing a momentary sigh of relief, I sit down on the bed while the other man looks out on the balcony and closes the door behind him.
The balcony is clear.
And he's thorough, looking in the closet and under the bed, even going far as to looking in the nursery, but it is with that he comes back silent. Johan's eyes scan the room warily, searching to see if he missed something.
What have you done with the madam?
What do you mean?
Oh, okay, so yeah, so they didn't move her body yet. That one explains why Johan's was like going up to Ash and be like, what did you do with the madam and whatever.
The body. It isn't there.
What? Last I checked, it's still there. It's not like anybody knows where the fucking body is. Did it just stand up and walk away? Got tired of being dead and decided to unkill itself?
Maybe just, yeah, that's probably what happened. It isn't there. That must mean it's somewhere else. And the house is crawling with guards, none of who knew that Hana was dead already. I feel the color drain from my face. But before I can take a step out, he raises a hand to stop me and charging out there.
Stay.
Stay? Do you see the problem we have here, Shroken? Are your eyes open, Shroken? Do you see the problem we're having here, Shroken?
With my own eyes.
What the bloody fuck are you still doing there, then? Hana's corpse. A corpse is missing. If anyone else finds that bloody body, we are going to have an even bigger problem than Suarez's company leak.
Which is why I'm asking you to calm down. This isn't...
You do not understand, do you? Okay, everything is at stake here.
Money, reputation, connections, the company I've built, everything. There's no second thought as I reach under my bed and pull out a knife of one of my knives. I have no doubt that the other man can take me off if we are both unarmed, but with this, I can't even field. At least deter him from escalating the situation and risking hurting either of us.
I'm going out there to look for that damn fucking body, and you're either with me or you're fucking fired! I am not risking anything. I am not losing everything.
Still, like a stubborn mule, he refuses to budge from the door. There's a withering look on him that I try to match. One that I'm losing fast to, even with him not saying a word yet.
Can you see yourself in the mirror right now? You're in no proper state to go looking for anyone, let alone your wife's dead body. If it will make you happy, I will do the looking. But please, and don't make me repeat this, stay where it's safe, where security can find you. We already have one matter to be worried about. Please don't add another one to it.
Perhaps it is his tone. In spite of his general disdain, virtually everything that has to do with me, I like to think that over the years he has grown some sense of duty to his employer at least. Much as I loathe to admit this, I trust him over any servants in this house, so, and Aquarius.
You have 2 hours, Shroken. I don't think it'll take that long to find one lifeless fucking corpse in this godforsaken house. 2 hours. Any more than that, I'll do it my fucking self.
Of course.
Despite his words, he lingers. If I didn't know any better, I'd say he wants to make sure that I get in the damn bed and sleep before he turns away from me.
Well, what are you waiting for?
Nothing. I just hope you're happy.
Damn.
Verily, now mush!
As you wish.
Who are you? Stay away!
Oh, that was the voice we heard in my first playthrough, right? Sweet dreams, my love. It'll be over soon. What the hell was that? Hana's body is still missing. Hana is still missing, and the trespassers are still out there.
You do not need her. I am here. We are here. This is where your home is.
Where you belong for all the blood that we shed. Come back to us. How long has it been since? Johans has never taken this long before.
Surely there should have been an update by now.
Okay, we're back at this scene. I'm so sorry we gotta see Ashton die again. One moment of letting my guard down. Before I can react, he fires 2 shots in quick successions. A sound crackling through the empty foyer, almost as loud as the storm raging outside, breaking the tense air in the room. A pain explodes in my wrist, no 2 seconds later. It's just a graze. However, it's enough to cause my fingers to tense and the pistol to slide to the floor with a dull thud.
Why, you insolent!
The next moment happens in a blur. In a second, I am tackled bodily to the ground, hitting the cold floor hard, and an arm pinning down on my neck. There's a fleeting minute of panic, and I struggle while I try to untangle myself from him before he manages to knock me out. And then, a scream, a wail piercing through the thick air, shrill and sharp enough for both of us to cover our ears and hunker down on our knees. With each sharp note beating harshly against my head are the images again. Faces and voices so utterly unfamiliar, seeping into every crevice, turning sinister with each shift. They are not mine, but they might as well be with how vivid and crisp they appear. Over and over, they all flash behind my eyes until it becomes unbearable. Pounding, throbbing, thudding against my skull, worse than any headache a hangover can give. A haze begins to fill in my vision as black spots dance around the corner of my eyes. Beside me, the detective suddenly moves, shouting a name I don't quite hear, and then... Ashton! In the next second, he falls down on one knee, desperately trying to keep himself up with the strength he has left. But eventually, his own body caves in, taking the horrified Lily down with him. Something distinctly red flows from his body. Blood? This man isn't supposed to be dead yet. He isn't supposed to. I didn't shoot him. I'm sure of it. So what killed him? What in the bloody blazes is going on here? Is it so wrong to just want a quiet night where nothing needs to attending to? Just one normal night? Quickly, everything has turned crazy with a pureless happening that is hard to explain. But it seems that when it comes to me, death is always around the corner. I want to look over him. This is just going to cause more problems. All this screaming and crying for the detective who has died for no apparent reason is giving me a migraine. I need to get all these people out of my house, one way or another. But in the blurry mess of my vision, none of this registers enough to compel my body to move. Nothing does, except for the voice unexpectedly ringing above the discord, and when I finally gather the strength to look up. Everything falls away into the ground. All that matters is her.
I told you, didn't I?
Surprise! Is she wearing Takako's necklace? Did she change it? Because remember, she's wearing the gem. That's Hana's necklace. I'm just looking at her sprite now and her CG over here. It looks like it's Takako's necklace.
Everything you're doing is useless, Ashton Frey. And now, you're dying. Meddlesome fool.
Hana? You're not supposed to be here.
For a moment, I wonder if it had been me who died and not her. After all, that can be the only logical explanation as to why I hardly draw a breath while she stands there. Of course, another logical explanation would be that I'm high and this is really, really a bad trip. Either reason doesn't suit me, though it can't very well be the former. Even from down here, I can see the blood that stains her dress. Seeing that makes me feel as if my hands are covered in them for once more. Warm and sticky, sweet and sickly.
Oh, Luke, darling, my love. You look so upset. Are you not happy to see me?
But let's be honest here, any explanation, any reason as to why a dead woman walks once more is a bad one to me, especially when it's one that I've killed. I mean, how even?
How can this be? You're...
Do you not find my presence desirable anymore, my love?
What sort of sick joke is
Tell
this?
me what's wrong, my dear prince. Does my presence leave you so speechless?
She says with a smile on her face, till and forth. A dead body's part doesn't even seem to malleable as they would give a living human. She takes a step forward and her movements are stiff and choppy, like a corpse being forced into position despite the rigor mortis, like the corpse that she should be. I find my voice once more when she takes a careful step forward. Just the thought of that thing approaching just makes my skin crawl. She stops to listen, fixated on my voice and my words.
No, you're not. You're not supposed to be here. You can't be here. You're dead.
The "I killed you" is left unsaid considering present company.
And I have returned. For you.
Ew.
You don't have to do this. You can still have it all, Luke. Just please. Don't you love me? We would have been So beautiful.
I can still hear her pleas as she begs me not to get rid of her. Not once have I forgotten this particular crime of my own. No matter how much I wash my hands, I can still see her blood on them. She's dead. That is an inferiable fact, and nothing short of the devil would bring her back.
Why are you acting this way, my love? Does this not make you happy?
I feel there is something lodged in my throat, and my heart feels like it's being sat on with how tight my chest feels.
Of course I'm happy to see you again, Hana.
Yeah, a dead body.
Of course, I love you, Hana. But how do I know you're... How do I know you're you, darling?
Whatever do you mean? You look perturbed. Why not come here? I can make you feel better.
If by act of some malevolent god she was back, I don't think she would take too kindly to what I have done to her. This certainly isn't what I would expect. Not the fixated gaze or two loving words. There's no accusation in them, no anger, when Hana has every right to look at me so. My guilt is overshadowed by the oddity of these illogical circumstances.
No, stay where you are, stay back! Don't go near me! Don't touch me!
It is that rejection which turns her expression absolutely fearsome, and everything turns to a complete and utter shite. Why? Oh god. Oh god. Okay, here we go.
Oh my god. Please, somebody, anybody. Who are you? Stay away! No. Stay away. Stay away.
Mother of God, pray for us sinners.
Marianne!
I'm sorry. Stay away from me!
Why? Why do you wish to leave? This is where you belong, my lord. Remember the blood you shed. The very same one that now taints this house, along with many others.
I did not do this, you lie! I did nothing!
What of her, then? Your wife, your sunshine. Doesn't her blood already stain these halls? Stain your hands?
Then, Hana's really... You're the one who... You killed her! You're wrong!
She's lying!
The word sounds so familiar. Just a few days ago, I spat out the same words that a vile woman who ruined everything. If it weren't for that mutter, that harlot... But it's no use. A seed has already been planted in their heads. Defending myself, especially against the likes of him, is pointless. Bloody hell, even Daisy's now looking at me with the same revolting stares people have given me once that they only know my dirt.
So it's true, then?
Oh,
With
God.
Hana, Luke?
I don't know what she's talking about. Are you that gullible, Daisy? Do you really believe the words of a murderer? She killed your friend over there.
Now you deny it. Pointing fingers, aren't we? You see, my love. No difference. No difference, you and I. Just like the rest of us. Just like every single soul in this putrid wreck. We've waited for so long.
This is so
You
creepy.
can hear them, yes. Their pleas, their calls, their invitation. Come, my lord. The house seeks its master.
No, thank you! She, the monster, reaches out again, her hands a gory, abhorrent sight, along with that smile spread across her face. My body's already moving on instinct, stumbling back, one step at a time, in a desperate bid to be away from her. Anything to put distance between me and this vile creature. No matter what she says, I'm nothing like her. I need to get out of this house. Out of this country, preferably! There's nothing for me here, not anymore. Nothing to keep tied to this place. With Hana gone, Stroke and likely be taken by this woman as well, nothing's left to bind me to this wretched city.
Understand where your place is now, my love. You belong here. Is it so difficult to grasp? We've been waiting.
As soon as my eyes adjust to the darkness of the room on my own feet, I'm reaching for my knife and holding it out, watching, waiting for every movement, using it as a way to put distance between me and these peasants. Who knows what they'll do to me now that they know what I've done? There's only 4 of us in this room, 3 of them, friends at that, and only me. Cannot trust these people. Not to turn on me. Cannot trust anyone. Not anymore. Not after this. Despite the pleading looks Lily shoots at me, while they all huddle in the corner behind Steel, I have to remind myself that even people like her are capable of doing something unpleasant.
You 3, all of you, this is all your fault. If I've died to this bloody curse, I'm taking you all down with me.
Jesus.
Hey now, Mr. Wright. I know the situation ain't good, but we have to calm down.
Don't you dare, Luke. Don't you dare put that blame on us.
Oh yeah, Rebecca! Without batting an eye, glaring at me as if she might just rip my head off in an instant, said knife slides uselessly under the table, out of my reach. I should have expected she's not the kind to submit even under threat.
Last I checked, we're not the one whose hands have been stained with
That's
his
right,
wife's
bitch.
own blood.
And what about your friend over there? Are you saying she is responsible for this mess? For the lives this salty glitter took? Dragging other people into her own problems just so she could save her little salty self? You think I haven't seen that before? Getting real tired of your double standards, Daisy!
You know this curse is an entirely different issue from what you've done, Luke. Because, knowing you, I don't doubt that even without that blasted letter, you would have eventually— Rebecca, stop!
I think it's just like what the professor guy said. Just like that old story. This mansion and some other thing might be keeping her here. You know, something he wanted in life, but never got to have. Something like that.
Okay, so what the professor said earlier was that the reason why Takako won't leave is because she's like a wraith attached to something, and she can't leave because herself is still attached to that, and her anger is causing it to make it worse, right? That's why she's becoming like this disgusting thing. And obviously the house would be the biggest clue as to like what is attaching her to there. I don't think it's the letter, because the letter seems like a red herring thing. And then if you think about it, Takako wanted the prince, Edouard. So does she want Luke to stay in the house? Or is it like you have to kill Luke, burn the house down, because remember that was an option, and then that way the curse is lifted? Is that what I have to do?
Or maybe it's not something, Zachary.
Someone. The who doesn't have to be uttered out loud. There's only one person in this room who that woman calls after. Every single one of them has heard it. Bloody hell. It's in this reluctant shift in Daisy's eyes when they flicker over to me, though only briefly. She's also holding information on her own, or perhaps a realization just had. What now? Are they going to throw me to that creature? See what happens to save themselves? I am no fool.
No. You're all in on this, aren't you?
This is like very interesting, but weird. I mean, I don't give a crap if Luke stays with the demon girl. Like, it's fine, because fuck you, you killed Hana, you know what I mean? So, it's just really odd that's what would lift the curse, wouldn't it?
Of course! Of fucking course!
Luke, that isn't what I—
My hands are already on the door, pushing it open before she finishes. Betrayal or not, this isn't anything new. They may not be thinking of it right now, but eventually, trapped in this nightmare, the first thing to do is put distance between us before our plan can even hatch in their minds. There's 3 of them, only 1 of me. I have to get out of here, find an exit to this place, or a way to get rid of each of them. But karma, the damn thing, seems to be at work here. Because when the door swings open, I barrel into the next room. There's only a reminder of the blood I've shed, of her, of them.
You don't have to do this.
Oh shoot.
You can still have it all, Luke. Just please. Don't you love me?
It's not only her sobs I hear, but his, hers, theirs. I'll never know, will I? What kind of a life I would have lived with them, if I ever to be a father better than my own. But I suppose I have my answer now. I killed them after all. It's their blood that stains my hands in this room.
It would have been so beautiful.
By my own doing, I've ended it all, even before anything has begun. Now their blood drips from every wall, pooling in every inch of the floor, leaving a sorry mess of the hem of my pants with every step I take in the room. Like a cold, suffocating embrace of my sins, the dread from the sight creeps up on my limbs, slow and unhurried, twisting and turning. Up and up it goes until nothing but a sharp, guttural cry escapes from my mouth and a realization. It hits me like a gut punch, sending my knees buckling and the rest of me sprawling. Behind me, Daisy shouts, a worried cry, running into the room and placing a comforting hand on my shoulder. Following after her are Lily and Steele, lingering by the doorway to that room. Hana's little nursery, or at least it's supposed to be one, until things in this place have gone haywire. Can't even bring myself to look at it.
Are you alright? You vampot. Don't just run off like that. We don't know what's going on in this house.
Interesting that Rebecca's comforting Luke. You know? Like, I know they don't have, like, evidential proof that he murdered Hana, but it's just like, wouldn't you want to distance yourself away from this guy? Like, I don't know. But the sharp timbre always presents in her tone pales in comparison to every voice ringing in my ears, along with Hana's and the distant cry of babies somewhere. How many people have died here, I wondered? How many of them are still trapped in here? Because it isn't just the creature's murmurs and pleas that I hear. It isn't just my wife's or the life that she carried in her, but hundreds, thousands of them. Not that it matters now, when I know I've also doomed Hana and my own children to this nightmare. Somehow, out of things, it's the thought of them trapped in here that sets me on edge, sends me my stomach churning and bile rising up in my throat. Then slowly, a laughter. I also laughed back, didn't I? The moment my eyes had seen what has to be of that room. Days later, Shrokin asked if I was happy, that bastard. I suppose I have a clear answer now. There's no happiness in this. Despite the chuckles and giggles spilling forth, there's only a hollow void.
I don't deserve them, Daisy! Any of them!
And there's only one way to fix this. Okay, let me save! One way to correct a mistake. Mistake. Is it even one? Isn't even what I was wanting for myself? To have everything? Money, power, hell, even I don't even have that freedom now, and so much more. I married her for this. This has always been the plan to have things not to be derailed, get rid of the dad, marry the starry-eyed heiress, acquire the company and make her disappear. Make it appear like a terrible accident, clean, efficient. Yet somehow it feels wrong to use that word. I loved her, didn't I? This is a sin, more like. Perhaps one that deserved an equal punishment of death. A life for a life sort of deal. Payment for the countless other lives I've also ruined and ended to get where I am. There used to be satisfaction in this and getting what I want. Now I only feel remorse.
This is going to get me. No matter what I do, isn't it?
Luke, we can't stay here. We have to find a way out. We have to...
Go.
What? What are you talking about?
This is so... I don't know why I feel so weird about this, because, like, in a way, it's trying to redeem Luke for what he's done, right?
You heard me, Daisy. Go. Leave. Have you also gone deaf now?
Sir, is this about what we said? Forget about that. We're not leaving anyone here. Ash wouldn't want that.
As if I give a damn shit about him. He still pisses me off. If anything, he should be the one thanking me. I'm saving his friends. I suppose I should make note of that. Something to keep in mind in case we're going to ever meet in the afterlife. Provided we end up in the same place. The crap I've done, I've likely end up in 7th level of hell. Funny how easy it is to think of these things when your death is looming over you. Or maybe it's simply because I'm getting old. Well, not that old, but it certainly feels like it. I've done a lot of shitty stuff in my lifetime. So maybe this one time, I might as well do some good. That's very interesting. This whole thing is just like redeeming Luke. And I don't know if I like that or not. Pushing myself off the floor is a struggle on its own, more from the metaphorical weight of my shoulder than the pain in my limbs or this headache. There's no backing out now, I suppose. If Daisy still doesn't quite understand what I mean, there she sits, looking up at me, but nothing but a worry. I wonder if in a different lifetime we would have become friends. Yeah, you probably would have, because they were very compatible. Had I been born to a more decent family, or Damien Wright took me away from the slums before I even learned how to use a knife?
Daisy, do fetch me one final drink, would you? There's a stash in that dresser beside you.
She quietly hands me one as I requested, but only after a look of protest flickers across her face. I look at anywhere but her, fixated on the color of the glass bottle she just handed over to me, before I pop open the cork and take a swig. Or rather, a huge chug of the stuff. There's something delight when I feel a delightful burn in the back of my throat and realize this isn't exactly wine that I have in my hand. Whiskey. How quaint, how fitting. This explains where the rest of the alcohol is.
This isn't the time for some booze, Luke. We're still stuck in this bloody nightmare. A little sense of self-preservation from you would be really nice.
Such a nag. Though I don't think Hana would appreciate me drinking in her room, either or at all, if she has anything to say about it. Probably says something about scathing in a witty like, "You might as well shoot yourself in the liver, Lucille. Really now." Well, she can just tell me about it when we see each other again.
Steele, isn't it? Make sure your friends make it out of this place in one piece. It shouldn't be too hard for you, right?
Wait, what about you?
For all the weakness he displays, at least he's a man knows the right questions to ask. And that is exactly when it dawns on Daisy, her concern quickly melting into an expression of utter horror. Any other day I would have laughed loudly at that. To think she cares, I'm almost touched.
What are you... Don't be ridiculous, you ball bag!
You're kidding, right? Look, Wright. Mr. Wright. There must be some other way.
You can tell if these are good people, even though they know the knowledge of him killing his own wife and children. They're trying to save him.
This isn't going to solve anything, you numpty. You're just giving her what she...
Daisy, do me a favor and watch over Kylie for me. The Rugrat shouldn't be allowed more than 1 glass of parfait a day. Her father spoils her too much.
Why don't you do that yourself? I'm not her godparent, you are.
I have to stifle the giggles that threaten to spill uncontrollably. I'm not yet drunk, but I might as well be. Losing my mind, maybe.
I'm afraid I won't be able to. You're going to have to apologize to her for me as well. You see, Daisy, where I'm going, there's no coming back from.
A smile. Then I'm dousing the whole room with the remaining liquor before a word escapes their mouths. They can only watch. I can tell that they don't approve of this, but what can they do? It's my house. I can do whatever I want with it, and it doesn't take too long for Steele to catch on. He's seen this ugly side of me more than anyone here. There is still a reluctance in him, of course. The man remains soft, even for the people who have openly hated him. A hesitation in him, even as he's pulling the 2 women away from the room, quickly unhirshing them through the doors that should lead him to the hallway.
Luke, we can't...
Go on, Daisy. There's nothing left for you here.
A long moment of silence, of conflict and pain flashes fleeting across her face. We never did get along much, Daisy and I. Though right now, I like to think that she has come to care for a rotten bloke like me, the way she might do for another friend. Unable to meet my eyes, perhaps out of some uncalled for guilt, she simply reaches out for both of my arms and gives a light squeeze. And then, in a voice so low and whispered,
This is what you want.
Not a question, merely a statement, a fact. One that deserves an equal honesty. Funny, I've never been the honest sort.
Yes.
I'm sorry. We're sorry.
The look on Daisy's face before Steele closes the door behind them? Odd. There's no other word for it. It's the same one my mom has given me, along with the same words, a gift. I considered them back then. I never understood the use for it. It's not like she didn't care for me like a mother should. Eleanor Chandler did more than that. But seeing such a strikingly similar expression on Daisy, I understand it now. It was not her for misgivings of a mother. It was for all that what-ifs, could-haves, and should-haves. Things that will never be because it's far too late.
I'm sorry, too.
Under the room's low light, the liquid amber gleams tauntingly where it lands. On the floor, on the bed, on the walls. On every dresser, it splatters in its reach. It's brighter, of course, when the sight aligns, but I don't wait for it to spread. If I'm here to die, this place has also got to go. Burn it to the ground with every sin and horror it hides. Interesting. I suppose this is the closest I can get to Atonement. Without a single glance back, I take the rest of the liquor stash from the dresser with me and head inside the door to Hana's nursery. It opens to the study before, though with how fucked up this place is, I'm not entirely sure what I'll find next. One thing's certain.
Somebody. Anyone. Help me. Help us. Luke, please. Our children.
Somewhere in this house, she waits. I allow her voice to lead me, following her cries and pleas, and I go to douse each room as I pass with alcohol and set it ablaze. Not a comforting thing to hear, but certainly a better sound than an agonizing wail. Huh. Oh god, okay, I think it's happening. Amidst the gore and horror, it's the closest thing I can cling to, including the stray thoughts that somehow have chosen to surface. Short bursts of memories I've always been fond of, more than I care to admit, either out of fear or embarrassment.
How about Botany Bay, Luke? In Kent? It's gorgeous there.
I don't know, but don't you think it's a little too far from here? Remember, I still have a company to manage.
Well, it won't always be that way, yes? And maybe we can also get a dog.
I suppose.
So, someday?
Someday, Buttercup. Someday.
In truth, a half-hearted response spoken out of ignorance or some sort of complacency over the kind of life I assume we'll have. Or I'll have. She never meant to live past the second year of marriage, so no idea how tempting those playthrough dreams of hers now. A little house by the beach, a dog, our children, her, and the vast expanse of the sea before us. She was right. We would have been so beautiful. But as for the whole of this place smolders, so do those. When I run out of liquor, I simply drop the bottle and take one off from the many nooks I've stashed one. There's no lack in it here. The hard stuff, the sorts, the watered-down kind, gifts from the distant relative friends, so-called friends. Hana has called me out on this numerous times before, telling me I have a problem. I've always told her she doesn't know the half of it, before completely dismissing her concerns.
Oh, worrywart, that woman.
Right now, however, I'll give everything to hear her say that again, if only for the last time. With each room I pass and burn, the place becomes easier to navigate, as if it's slowly righting itself, returning to what it's supposed to be. Soon, I finally find myself standing before the door to the attic. From the bedroom nearby, the strong odor of burning wood, cloth, and varnish alike wafts in the under of the door, slowly filling the hall with a thick black smoke. Hopefully Steele is able to get his friends out of here before it's too late. The blaze has already started in its earnest in every part of the house. I can already feel the heat seeping into the rooms I've set aflame. In a matter of minutes, flames will engulf the whole house. But there's one more place left. Upstairs, where her cries echo from. Oh god. My feet fall hard on the heavy against the old steps. A steep, rickety thing that should have been fixed during renovation. I suppose it's only fitting this is where I make my march, trapped in the highest point of this place, as the rest of the world burns to the ground with me. A final fall. To death. To her. For some reason, nothing about this scares me, no matter how much I've dreaded this kind of end in the past. There's only calm, a stillness. The same hush that comes over a terrible storm has swept to the countryside. Even as I open the door and I am greeted by not by Hana's warmth, but her cold, chilling smile. But the reality of this, the terror, doesn't take a hold and sink, until my knees hit the floor and I hear a whisper in my ear. It's a voice so familiar yet different, reverberating inside of my head, in soft murmurs and sighs. Her arms come from behind to rest across my chest. What?
You came home to us.
Okay, this is weird. I guess I'm hoping to see Hana here is already asking too much. Perhaps something I don't deserve even in death. Yet tears flow freely from my eyes despite the disappointment. And the feeling of finally being released from the shackles that has scraped me raw. Because in the end of the road is her. And I think this is it. This is how I die. A gradual descent to the abyss as everything around us goes up in flames. Behind me, the window blows out from the heat. But above the piercing sound of the shattering glass is the rustling of trees against the light breeze. A passing draft is even carried into this room from outside, cold enough to make me shiver, strong enough to fan the flames further. In the distance, I can hear a soft chirping of birds, while the rest of the world stirs, wakes. Ever so slowly, darkness gives away the warm morning hues. The soft rays of morning sun, altogether spilling the window, stirring a distant memory of a laughter and a tender voice I long to hear one last time.
Thank you.
I did not do it for you.
Dawn at last. And she is free. Wait! Did you see that? She changed into Charlotte! What? Okay, I've unlocked the... Okay, so this is Takako when she's being tortured. Oh, okay. So the one asking for help... So I was right then! It's two people, isn't it? Like two ghosts. The one asking for help is Charlotte. And then the other one who is killing people is Takako, right? I think? Like the flames that engulfed the mansion that night, whispers quickly spread across Luxbourne City after the incident. Officers who investigated deemed the tragedy of the Ermengarde Mansion an accident, an unfortunate outcome for a long-rumored domestic dispute between Luke and Hana Wright, killing innocent lives. But for those who still believe in the stories of the old, and those who know the truth, it is but a testament in the curse of the secrets of the Ermengarde Mansion is hidden for centuries. If there will come a time to those who finally will be revealed, only ashes are now ruined mansion now. However, on the nights where the wind howls and the thunder booms across the sky, some still claim to hear voices of where once it stood. Cries of wails that still fill the night in desperate calls for help for anyone who dares to listen. And for those who remain. Zachary Steele decided to give the movie industry another try a year after. This time, his film tells of a harrowing experience under the shadow of the Ermengarde curse. Interesting. With the help of Rebecca Gales and Isabella Santos on production, he's able to bring it to life 2 years later. But unlike his first foray into the indie scene, this one turns out to be a blockbuster hit. Hey! Gaining hit accommodates from several award-winning bodies. Although the film has brought him considerable success and opportunities, Zachary claims it will be the last film he'll be making, remarking that he merely wishes to tell the tale. A decision he has led to change his mind, much to his fans' disappointment. After the clamor of the movie has died down, he quietly returned to his freelance photography business, living a simple life in the same old apartment away from the spotlight. All the same, he dedicates the film's success in honor of an unnamed friend. Ash! Determined to disclose the truth, Rebecca Gales writes a book of detailing Luxbourne City's true history. With the help from Professor Andrew Clark, she pieces together every omitted information from the current accounts. Charlotte Ermengarde's role in the City Foundation, and the truth behind the very woman who built it. In spite of the professor's stern warning against bringing those to light, Charlotte Ermengarde has always been revealed by the people of Luxburn after all. And sure enough, upon publication, it creates a huge stir. Although consideration of masteries by some, even becoming a bestseller, it also met with harsh criticisms from Luxburn's academic circles. Others believe it is an attack on the city's way of life, outright condemning it. It doesn't take long before it reaches controversial status, and mere months after its release, the book becomes a subject of litigation. As a result, it has been withdrawn from the shelves by the publisher. Today, Rebecca continues the effort to bring it back to the market, knowing its worth. A war that she seems to be winning in time. Doing it not for herself, but in memory of a dear friend who the book has been dedicated to. Months after the incident, Isabella Santos has finally found the courage to pursue what she truly wants. Oh my god, all her artwork is like horrifying. Having made enough to keep her family afloat for a few years, with the blessing, she quits her job at Briar Realty Corporation and takes the scholarship offered by the local university. Slowly she gains recognition, both in the local and international scene, depiction of death and suffering. Although continuously laundered by her talent, no one knows why she's chosen that dark subject. She just kept mum about it throughout the years. Perhaps the closest answer the curious will get is when she asks, is the slight shift of her eyes when a wistful look that crosses her face. A quiet glance towards the painting of a young man in her studio. Her best-known work, and strangely the only one from her collection with an ardent expression of life and love, realized far too late. From the Ashes. And it is only during this short, candid moment she has never smiled again. Oh my god. Ah, this is horrible! Although now busy with their lives after the curse, Isabella Santos, Rebecca Gales, and Zachary still remain close friends. A bond that has only grown tighter throughout the years. But even after so long, Ashton Frey's loss is still a grief of all of them that they carry. And on the same day as what become known as the Ermengarde Mansion tragedy, to the public, they will always make it a point to meet where he lies. Once a year, when they exchange stories and talk like the way they used to. A shadow of what they were before the tragedy. Their way of coping with the sorrow that still looms over them. Though they never speak of it, will never. Each of them know that his death is a wound that may never heal. They can only carry on. Jesus Christ, so was that the true ending? Oh my god. That was like... I don't know how I feel about it, because, like, I understand the whole point of the curse, the way to lift it is to give Luke, because that's what she wanted, both of them wanted, right? Both Takako and Charlotte wanted was the prince. Oh my god, I still don't know how I feel about it, you know? It's interesting that we finally figured out the secret. The curse was set upon Charlotte, but the one killing everyone is Takako? The one asking for help was Charlotte, and I thought it was the other way around, which is very interesting. But I feel like it's not complete. Is that just me? Like, I feel like it's not done. And in a way, I feel like Luke redeeming himself at the end, killing himself or sacrificing himself for what he has done to Hana and their children. I feel like that's not... I don't forgive him, you know what I mean? Like, the others were like, oh, he's doing a noble thing, he's sacrificing himself in order to help us. But I just feel like it doesn't work that way, you know? Am I the one who feels like that? Like, I don't know. Okay, well, this is my final review of the letter. I enjoyed it. I like that there are different endings, different ways you can go about it. It's very difficult to get to the true ending if you don't have a guide. Can I just say that? Because there's a lot of stuff that you have to do. And, the deaths in the house don't make any sense to me. I thought it was gonna be something related to the curse, like, they have to die in the mansion, those three characters, Ashton, Hana, and, Marianne, because of a certain thing. So, Ashton dying for love, which could represent Takako, you know, sacrificing herself to tell Edward the truth about Charlotte cheating on him, because she really loved him, right? So that could represent that. Luke's death could be Charlotte's, like, regret of killing and, like, sacrificing Takako to the public because the curse came upon her afterwards. Same way with Luke. If he didn't kill Hana, then the curse wouldn't, like, happen or whatever. So I think that's supposed to happen there. And then with Marianne, I don't know, because she is talking a lot about guilt. So it could be like the guilt that Charlotte has, or the guilt that I don't know who that could be related to, you know what I mean? So there's just guilt there. It's really weird. And then Hana is supposed to be the innocence of Takako, I guess. Like, she is just like trying to live her life and whatever. Cause like, there's no way in hell Hana is like Lady Charlotte from the way that Takako described her. She seems like a very evil woman, and Hana is not like that. So I think Hana is supposed to be Takako. That's the whole thing there. I don't know if that's like a giant mess or if that makes any sense whatsoever. But I want to hear your comments on this. What did you guys think of the true ending? Were you satisfied with how it ended? Do you forgive Luke for sacrificing himself in order to lift the curse? Or do you feel like it's still like incomplete? Because I don't know. I'm unfortunately not going to play this again because I just wanted to get the true ending. So I just want to thank everyone for watching this Let's Play, going through this journey with me. Also, shout out to Young Mobile for creating the letter. It's a great game. I do love it. I highly encourage everyone to get it if you want to see the other endings, the other ways that you can go about with this game, the other romances and stuff like that. I have a link in the description where you can buy the game, so I encourage you guys to get it yourself. But as always, if you guys enjoyed this video, remember to leave a like, let me know in the comments what you think, and be sure to subscribe and hit the bell button so you know when I upload the next gameplay video. I don't know what it is. I don't know what I'm playing next, but yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye! After playing episode 3 of The Walking Dead the final season, it has left me with mixed feelings about the final choice and overall where Clementine's story is going. Straight up creepy. And sometimes that brings people together in a not so cute way. Here are 6 terribly awkward romances in video games. Number 6. Cole and Elsa.